Yeah, you were kind of playing with a little extra swag tonight with a lot of this behind the backs with the legs.
Oh,
what was
what?
motivating?
Nah, just taking what the defense gives me.
They gave you that through the legs pass on the fast break?
Yeah, that was the only way to get it there.
You made that a trademark now, that between the legs bounce pass.
I guess. I mean, it was a. I'm just glad he finished it. He made me look good. So I don't know. I had a little pep in my step there.
The Celtics beat the Magic 107-96. The TD Garden is currently melting down. We're going to do a quick episode for you here on the Garden Report.
Thomas burned it down.
All right, we're going to do some Magic's happening in the building right now. Celtics win. Garden Report, powered by SeatGeek on CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog. Let's do this.
Yes, I'm the boss.
Welcome to the show. I am Jared Weiss. Next to me is Jimmy Toscano. You could probably hear the alarms going off in the garden. We have no idea what the hell is going on, but we're going to power through this, and we're going to give you a quick episode before we get kicked out of here. So Isaiah Thomas pulled out the swag level to 1,000,000 tonight, made some crazy plays, tried to dodge it when I asked him whether or not he was playing with something extra. He admitted to it at the end, though, maybe because you're kind of in a corner when you have to admit to throwing a through-the-legs pass on the fast break was a normal pass.
Well, they were just giving it to him.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
just gave that to you. I like how you called them out on that one. But hey, if you're gonna go out and be flashy, and we're good.
Isaiah Thomas really was magical tonight.
If you're gonna go out there and be flashy and do all those things, people are gonna ask you about it. But that's cool. I mean, as long as they don't turn into turnovers, which I don't think most of them did. I think he had a couple turnovers tonight.
He had 4, and I think he kind of survived a couple there.
Yeah,
I mean, there were some sloppy ones.
There were a couple dicey ones.
That really nice no-look pass of Victor Oladipo. That was a good pass.
Yeah, that was one that would qualify as dicey. But generally speaking, I mean, when he goes up there, the thing that I like that he's been doing a lot more now is these like 20-foot finger rolls that go like I actually tweeted that I thought one of them grazed one of the banners in the rafters tonight on its way up and then just right back
probably
down.
The 86 banner too.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean he's it's funny, you know, I try to listen to the opposing coaches before and after the games, and sometimes you could just tell like they're, even though they know what they're getting themselves into with him, they leave very impressed by what this guy at his size can do, and that was the same deal with Scott Skiles tonight. Not that he didn't think that Isaiah Thomas had it in him, but opposing reporters will ask, you know, what is it about this guy? And he said, well, he's quick, he's fast, he plays with a lot of energy, and he can just flat out score. And that's what we saw tonight.
It's got to be frustrating to face a guy like LeBron or Anthony Davis or Paul George. What about like a little guy like Isaiah who just like, you could surround him and he just somehow squeaks through, he makes that play. It's got to be so annoying.
The ball's over here and then all of a sudden it's up here. Like it's tough to defend. I mean, we see it more than anybody because we watch other games, and he'll go up, and I think a lot of people in the heat of the moment, they might forget that he's a lefty. You know what I mean? It's because, you know, most guys in the NBA are righties, and I'm sure that they all know that he's a lefty, but in the blink of an eye, you know, when the guy's coming at you that quickly and moving all over the place, you might forget that. But he can finish with his right too. I mean, he really does. When the ball is in his hands, he moves it all over the place where it's just hard to get a hand on it. He's
good at showing the ball. I mean, when the guys see the ball, they jump at it. They swipe at it. He's really good at that. We got to go back to those finger rolls. They're 10 feet from the hoop, but they go 20 feet up in the air. They're so ridiculous. And I know he had at least one of them tonight. One he missed pretty badly. The fact that he's able to take that as a reasonable shot is pretty incredible. But
another weapon.
He made a lot of silly plays tonight, and I really wonder what was it that got him to do that tonight.
I don't know.
Is there some sort of beef with Brandon Jennings or something?
I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know. I mean, that would be a nice conspiracy theory that he had a little extra pep in his step, but I don't think so because nothing he did tonight wasn't anything that we've seen in a sense in other games. You just happen to combine a few of them, I think. Maybe you saw more of them than you normally would, but I think he was playing with a little swagger, a little attitude, you know, and if his teammates, I think that his teammates feed off that a little bit. You saw a couple other little shifty moves, you know, out there in the court, so it's just something that I think it's a positive. You don't want it to get out of control, but I don't think it's anywhere near that level yet.
Well, he also had that delay of game, which makes me think he was really trying to get under their skin. But I mean, it kind of worked. It wasn't really until really throughout the first quarter they were kind of dead. They come out. Both teams went nuts in the second and third quarters. Fourth quarter, things really slowed down. The first quarter was ugly. The fourth quarter was ugly. Yeah. But they gutted it out, and Avery Bradley was a huge part of that. He had another one of those really good shooting nights. while also playing really intense defense on Victor Oladipo, who had a really good game himself.
Yeah, I mean, 37 minutes for Bradley. That's coming off. It's the second night of a back-to-back. He's almost every time I look up, he's streaking down the court. He's almost like the Jay Crowder in a sense, where he's getting out on that break and he's getting those easy baskets. And I think that's getting him in a little bit of a groove because you start to see that jumper falling at the same time. But what the fact that he can even give you 20-plus points with the defense he plays, I mean, that's basically like having a 40-point score every game, even though he might.
Well, except that Oladipo at 25 tonight. So
right, Oladipo's been tearing it up recently too. So I think, yeah, in a sense, you're not getting, obviously the plus minus has a big say in that, but you understand the point where he gives you so much on defense where he doesn't have to score 30 to be effective like maybe Isaiah Thomas would have to.
And they ran some good plays for him, none better than at the end of the game where he had that running hook shot through the lane, through traffic. That was good to see. They're getting him his shots. And there were some periods throughout the season where he wasn't able to get to his spots. He wasn't getting that curl to the free throw extension 20 feet out, wasn't getting those backdoor cuts where he's running through the lane. He's starting to get those again, and a big part of that is that they're able to run Isaiah off the ball, so Isaiah is curling in with the head of steam, and that's when the defense panics, and that's what opens up looks for Avery Bradley.
Agreed. But one thing I would like to see him knock down a little more consistently is just three-pointers. I think tonight he was 1 for 4. A few games ago, he just kind of stopped taking them, to be honest. I mean, he only took like 1 or 2 in back-to-back games. Before that, he was like 1 for 7, I think, from the 3. So that would be one thing I'm sure he would agree with, maybe knocking down that three-point shot a little bit more consistently. But other than that, he's playing great basketball for them.
All right, we're going to go to part 2 and talk about Kelly Olynyk's big night. But before we do that, before we even go to our grandstand play of the game, we got to talk to you about SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best place to buy tickets on the internet. You go to SeatGeek.com, use the code CelticsBeat, and you will get $20 off, a $20 rebate on your first purchase if you are a fan of this show. Be sure to go to SeatGeek and use CelticsBeat. And don't forget to listen to not only the CelticsBeat podcast every single week, but Larry H. Russell's hosting pregame shows, CLNS radio pregame shows, where they have on a beat writer or a radio play-by-play guy for the opposing team at 4 o'clock before every single game. Today they had the Orlando Magic radio play-by-play guy. There's always good guests, so definitely tune into that at 4 o'clock on CLNS radio, and you can always, of course, find it on iTunes and on Stitcher. Now let's go to the grandstand play of the game. We're not going to show you one from this game because yesterday Xavier in Wisconsin played, and there was an incredible finish. Let's take a look.